Well, good morning. It's been a crazy weekend. I had a goal when I started. Let's see, no, today's Monday. My days are mixed up. Let's see, it's about 11 o'clock on Monday morning. And today's actually my day off. Isn't that great? So I'll be driving, 6 hours back to the house today of stuff, but of course, but on the way home, I'm going to stop by Andy's place and we're going to put some color on the tank and fender for the FXR. So I'll get to paint a little bit today. That's pretty cool. Anyway, so we started, I started Saturday morning and then finished up last night. And it's been an interesting thing because I get all kind of messages. You guys know I put, between the YouTube channel stuff on Facebook and stuff, a lot of people following this build out here. I've had quite a few people ask me, because they know I'm doing it by myself, so they ask me how long it's taking to do each step, being that I'm doing it myself. And so I wrote something on the wall over there and just kind of keeping track of what was done on Saturday and Sunday. But my goal was to have all of the rough end electrical done, so in 2 days. Now were the high bay lights. All right, because again, I was here by myself. Let's see, 18-foot studs. That's about a 22-foot height right there, and I don't really want to climb a ladder here by myself over and over and over to hang 12 high bay lights, which that's what they look like. They have the little domes on them. So I've got a buddy up here that's got a scissor lift, and let me borrow his scissor lift to do that. I don't really have a fear of falling, but I have a fear of the sudden stop, and then concrete doesn't give. So let's do a review of what got done this weekend. So I already mentioned all this, getting all of this roughed in, outlets, the LEDs. I ran an extra outlet on the quad over here, and so let's head over to the machine shop. So I got all this rough in electrical done. That'll be the light switch. And then overhead, I'm running these LEDs. These things are incredible. They only put out, or they only consume about 0.8 amps each, but they're like 250 watt equivalent. It's something like 15,000 lumens, I think it is, each one. So everywhere you see a plug, a box, there will be 2 of those lights like this. So got all this done, and I just had 4. I've got more of these lights coming, and then there'll be a light switch over here as well. Got that ran for this area. All right, and then I decided to put a quad on every post, so all of that done in metal clad, and we have them ready to go. One of those on each post. All right, now next, this room, we got everything in here. Oh, here's what I wrote down. So on May 13th, this is for the guys you want to know how long it took me to do this. I clocked in at May 13th at 5:30 a.m., clocked out at 4 a.m. on May 14th. So that was 22 and a half hours with about a half-hour lunch, or a couple hours I did eat. I'll take an hour or 2 off. No, an hour, whatever. Then I clocked, let's see, so yeah, 4 a.m. on May 15th, clocked back in at 9 a.m. on May 14th, clocked out last night at 2:45 a.m. So basically it took me, let's say it took me 2 days, but 40.25 hours in 2 days. So we got that done. Anyway, so this room's ready. Overhead lighting, you only really need 1 light in here, 1 outlet, and then step in here. Got the outlets ran here for the single phase 220 and all that type of stuff. All right, then we step in here, and I just hung that in the wall. These fluorescents get mounted after the sheathing is in place. I just wanted to set one in there. But what I also had to do was come in here. You'll notice where they're boxed out. So there'll be one there, 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 and then, hello AccuDraft. Then there'll be one there and there, and then that box, and that box. So the reason I boxed them all in is the guys, the crew that did these studs here, they're all over the place. These lights fit precisely. They're exactly 14 1/4 inches to go in a 14 1/2 hole with studs 16 on center. But the problem was, some of these were at 13, some of these were at 12, some of these were at 15 1/2. So I decided to block it. Now you'll notice I did cut the braces. I know somebody's going to say something about that, but what we have to remember is I have 2x8s all the way around the perimeter of this building now, with 3 Simpson strong tie structural bolts on every single stud all the way around this building. These braces are intended to keep it square. Well, needless to say, with all of that all the way down, this building isn't moving. So I did not hesitate to cut those open. The other reason I cut them open is because I had to stretch these studs open, because this one right here I think was at 13 1/2. So with everything bolted together and such, I had to squeeze them out. So that was the other reason to block it, to make sure I had proper spacing for the lights. And all that wiring in is done, exhaust fan, etc. Now let's move over to this side. I'm not sure if I showed all this on the video or not, but the one yesterday. So I'm going overhead puck lighting. So all those overheads will be LED pucks. All right, got those there. Probably do my glass cabinet or something there. Still need to put that stud in. TV, multiple outlets, and then for the little kitchenette area, that's for the fridge, dedicated wall outlets, single drop right there. And then we got the rough end done here for the bathroom. Overhead light. Sorry about the camera. I know it's kind of shaky and such. So anyway, one more step that has to be done. And I didn't want to do it until I talked to the electrical inspector. They're called home runs. So with every circuit, you have to run from a group of outlets or whatever it is you're powering over to your main panel. Those are called home runs. Well, I'm hoping I could find an easier way to do it than what I'm thinking I'm going to have to do it. But on this side over here, there's actually 11 individual circuits, or 11 home runs, that have to go all the way over there, and then down over to the main panel. Now, I don't know if I can just drape them across. It's unattractive, but that's easy. Otherwise, what's going to happen is it'll have to go there, secured to the wall, and all that, and come back down. Here's a kicker. Let's go through a few statistics here, because I've kind of been keeping track. I think it's funny. I've pulled a little over 1,100 feet of wire, mounted 80 boxes, switch and outlet boxes. I think it was 200 staples. But anyway, yeah, a little over 1,000 feet of wire is where we're at this point. So by the time you add the overhead lights, considering the building's 100 feet, runs on those, it's going to end up being roughly about 2,000 feet of wire. Now, the other part is on those home runs, and I'm hoping I can figure out an easier way to do it, and a sub panel wasn't really an option. So by the time you go from this side to this side and you run those suckers, that's another 1,000 feet of wire. So it's going to be roughly about 100 feet for each circuit by the time you go up the wall, over that, back down, and then into the panel. So I'm hoping he'll just let me, just go straight up and then drape them across the rafters, because that would, the trusses. That would save me a ton of trouble. And these are the high bay lights I decided to go with in case anybody's interested. So they're 35,000 lumen each, and very inexpensive. And then the dome got, I think they were like $20 or $30 a piece. But look how well it softens the light and really disperses it nicely. And then you get to the one that doesn't have it, and it's, you know, it's a real intense light. So that certainly is a lot more dispersed over a larger area. And I want to show you guys something that came in 3 big boxes that I'm really stoked about. Ta-da! Brand new dyno from Diag 4 out of the Czech Republic. Also have the cooling fan exhaust system and all that type. A lot of exciting things that are coming with this. Developing some new products. Well, I need to stop. Training, dealer training and stuff like that. So I'll have to tell you more about that later. So anyway, there we go. Thank you so much for all your encouraging words, and you know, it's really nice. You know, I put this stuff up there, and you know, the encouragement I get from you guys is just really incredible. You know, all my friends, you know, I get a few phone calls, folks calling just to check in on me. They know I'm here late. You know, they know I'm by myself, and then it's, you know, are you doing okay? How you feeling? You know, all this stuff. So it's nice to have a, you know, pick me up sometimes, and so that's cool. And I want to say thanks to all you guys for that. And man, do you see this? It is crazy humid today, like insane humid. It's done nothing but rain here, really. I mean, it deluged yesterday. It was sunny for a little while, but it's not that hot. But whew, man, is it humid? Everything is soaking wet. But yeah, thanks a million, guys. And I will say this: I got a I guess you could say, a message from one person, and I'm not going to mention their name. Save them some embarrassment, I guess. It was something to the effect of, "Oh man, that must be nice." And I thought, you put in 40 hours in 2 days and talk to me about nice. But yes, it's amazing. Yes, it is nice. But it ain't like it was given. And we'll leave it at that. All right, guys, thanks a million. I hope all of you have a wonderful, wonderful week. I'm going to get in my truck, drive to Mr. Anderson's place. We're going to lay down some color on FXR 71. And then I'm going to drive home and relax and rest and get ready to go play with motorcycles on Tuesday morning. You guys have a great week. Take care.